Oh, it's hot in this room. Quick. There we go.
All right, we are live. What is up, people? I can't even do it right now. What is going on, everybody out there? This is Lynn, aka GGT. We are here with Queen Noveen, who is gracing us with her presence today. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh my God, thank you for being here. Do you know, like, that tweet that was tweeted out yesterday got a lot of traction? People were. I love that. I'm like, oh, okay, so people really want to see. All right, let's do this. So when I saw, let me just give a little backstory here. I sent you a message, and I was like, okay, let me see if she want to do it. Because I wanted to start a series on my channel where, I interview voice actors for video games. I mean, of course, you guys are more than that. We'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically, that's kind of like the niche that I want to try to like kind of, get in is like the voice acting part.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, let me send an email or a message to see if she'll do it. And when you said you would, I had the most craziest fangirl moment. I was on the phone. I said, she said yes. I was like, oh my God, you would think I just proposed. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God. She said yes. This is amazing. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And now to those who may not know, which I don't see how, but to those who may not know, could you like give a little synopsis as to who you are and let people know, who you are.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Noveen Crumbie. I grew up originally in Connecticut, born and raised there, went to school in New York City for about 2 years, went to a performing arts college, transferred here, completed my 4 years, and graduated with a bachelor's degree in fine arts. After graduation, I did some films, some short films, anything that I could do to kind of build my reel. And then I got into voice acting. A little while after, took classes for about a year, got an agent, and just kind of been working ever since. So I've voiced video games, commercials, TV series, to promos, podcasts. I'm also the voice of E! Network and Each True Hollywood Story, the new season that's out right now. So I've been voicing a lot, and it's been great. It's been a lot of fun, and done award shows too, so I enjoyed it a lot. So that's what I've been doing.
That is amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay. I love that. Okay. And so now how do you refer to yourself? Like, do you refer to yourself as like a voice actor or?
Yeah, more so now. When I first started in the entertainment business growing up, I was in community theater. And then I also did a few years of professional theater as well. Back on the East Coast. And it was mainly just like acting. And then once I got into college, I did musical theater. So it was like all singing, dancing, and acting. And I was like, okay, I love this. This is great. And then I found out about voiceover, which for years people have been telling me, you have a great voice. You should look into voiceover. And I finally did. And that's when I discovered I had a natural talent that I didn't know I had. So got into that. And now voiceover has basically taken over my life, which I'm not mad about. So I refer to myself mainly in voiceover now. And I'm like, I do musical theater as well. But right now it's just a lot of voiceover, especially because of COVID. And things are starting to come back now. But the musical theater world kind of got shut down for a while. So that was put on hold regardless. But yeah, voiceover now. Yeah.
Awesome. So what are some games that you have voice acted in that people would recognize?
So the first video game that I booked is Red Dead Redemption 2. I was one of the additional characters in there, one of the pedestrian people, and that was my first video game. The second one that I did that most people know, I think, is Friday the 13th. I voiced Vanessa Jones. So I'm one of the camp counselors. You can play in the game, run away from Jason, don't get killed. I also did Creed, Rise to Glory, and I'm the voice of Tessa Thompson in it. So I'm Michael B. Jordan's girl in it.
Hey.
And that one's like a virtual reality boxing kind of game. I also did The Sinking City. I'm the voice of Helen Bland in there. So I'm like the newspaper clerk in there. And then as everyone knows now, I am Layla in Redfall. So there's that too.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming out soon that I can't say yet, but that's what I have out so far. Yeah.
That is amazing. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, when I saw the trailer for Redfall, as soon as I saw Layla pop up on the screen, I was like, ah! You know, Black Girl Magic, she's like, oh, she's gorgeous. Like she's bad. She's bad. So
yeah.
she's going, that game is going to be good.
Yeah.
That game.
Stoked. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's really cool to see more games now featuring us.
Yes.
You know, where we can actually play as a character that that favors us.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, especially
I know you are too.
Yes, yeah, and I love that like Layla looks like us. That's what's like what I love the most. And that's the most important. It's not like some kind of generic Black person and whatever, but it's like this is actually what we look like with the poofy curly hair, the flat wide nose, and the hoops. Like this is us, and this is our style. And I'm like, yes, they got it right. And we love it. We love to see it.
Yes, so stoked. Like, oh my God, you just don't know. Oh my goodness. So, okay. So I think you touched on how long you've been voice acting for video games, correct?
About 5 years now.
Okay.
Wow, the time has flown by. So I want to say 2017 I did classes for a year maybe, or started. I think I started in March 2017.
Okay.
18, 19, 20, 21. 4 years now. Something like that. Yeah. Around there. A little while.
Okay. Now, is that primarily what you do now? Or I mean, I'm sure you do a lot because you said, you know, you the voice of E, and you know, other games that you're currently working on that is hush hush right now. So, and then like you said, you've done the commercials and podcasts and
yeah, voiceover is primarily what I do, but there's a bunch of different aspects and avenues of voiceover. But I've kind of been touching base in all of them a little bit. E-network is kind of just like every day, year round, basically. Just primarily voiceover right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That is really cool.
Thank you.
So yeah, so you voiced in a ton of games. Okay. So do you play the games that you voice in?
I haven't played Red Dead 2. I know some friends have it and they've tried to look for me in it. So if anyone happens to find me, I speak in like a Southern accent. So, which is basically everyone in the game. So good luck. Yeah. But for Friday the 13th, I played as my character Vanessa Jones, and I played it on the Switch and surprised some fans, and it was a lot of fun. And they were just like blown away, like holy. Yeah. She's here, like she's talking to us, she's playing with us, and yeah, I think that's a lot of fun, and I think it's kind of important to kind of interact with your fans and get to know the games that you're doing, like what the actual outcome is and why your fans love the game so much and why they love to play video games so much. So I really enjoy touching into that side of the video game world.
Okay. And how do you feel about like the games that you voice in, like, and you played? So how do you feel in that moment? You know, like I can't, like I'm hearing myself, I'm playing as myself.
Yeah.
You know,
it's weird. It's so surreal because it's like, oh, I remember recording that, but like, is this actually happening right now? Like, it's such a crazy moment. I guess like over time you do a little bit get used to it, but it's so crazy. Like you can just walk into Walmart and buy the game and there's my voice. It's
that cool?
So crazy.
That is cool.
It's crazy, but Yeah. For me, you don't really get used to it. It's always an exciting feeling. It's always an exciting feeling because it's like, yeah, that happened.
Okay.
It's happening.
That is nuts. That is nuts. Now, the young lady you see up on the screen, first time when you know, like the trailer, she changed her name. She said Layla, what's her last name?
Ellison.
Ellison's
Yeah.
Gold Hoops. That's
Yes.
her name. Oh, Nia. Yeah. And so look, we are all standing for Layla.
Thank you.
All standing for Layla. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. It's amazing. It is, I mean, this is just, I love it. I love it.
It's great.
So, okay, so you've stated some games that you people would be familiar with. So how do you prepare for your voiceover sessions? Like, is there a particular thing that you do, or?
It depends on the game. If it's more of a relaxed game, and usually just my speaking voice, kind of with Friday the 13th, or even like Creed as well, making sure I have tea with me because that'll help soothe the throat, not keep it so itchy. When the day before recording, I also don't have like any mac and cheese, any milk, because that makes the throat like gloppy. It makes your saliva gloppy. And I also do that same thing the day of when I'm announcing a live award show, because that's all live and you can't be having, hold on, let me clear my throat and then do it. It's like, no, you need to be ready. So it's like, no dairy that day at all. I do have Lay's chips during the sessions, in between sessions, because Lay's is coated with a lot of oil and it helps coat the throat and clear it as well. So that's worked for me. That's a tip that I got in musical theater school, and it still works for me to this day. So I do that as well. And sometimes having green apples in particular gets rid of the like smackiness in your mouth, like that leftover saliva in your mouth. It kind of just gets rid of it. So that's all helped for me. Again, those tips are from musical theater school, and it helps with voicing as well. So I try to keep those in mind. But when it comes to like Friday the 13th, how it's like screaming and yelling and choking on your own blood, like that's a lot of cough drops. I've had a lot. Oh my gosh, I just eat it like candy after. And because those sessions are very straining on the throat, we do have to take frequent breaks in between because it is hard in the throat, and it hurts literally right after you do it. And then even with Friday the 13th, when it's like Vanessa's running away from Jason and she's like, like doing that, just a few rounds for them to record, gets you lightheaded so quickly.
Really?
15 seconds, you're lightheaded. So a lot of water, take a lot of frequent breaks. Like there's a lot that goes on that people don't really know.
Exactly.
And the human body is just like, this is not an everyday thing for it. So we have to preserve it. We have to make sure we're using it correctly and protecting it and not being too hard on it as well. But the reporters and engineers and directors, they're all aware of that. So they're always like, okay, we're going to stop now. We're going to take a break, come back in a few minutes. Make sure you get some water, some tea, whatever you need, and keep us posted on like how your throat is feeling. So.
Oh wow! See, this is the thing. Yeah, people don't know the behind the scenes. They don't know what you all go through as voice actors. Wait, no, you didn't say voice actor. Let me rephrase. You do voiceovers.
Yeah, we call it voiceover. Other people call it voice acting, which is fine. But I like voiceover. Yeah.
Okay, well, we got to get the terminology correct. We saying voiceover. So, okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever used any of your video game voices in public? Or are you even allowed to do so?
If the game's already out, yeah. Just to have fun with fans and just like repeat it for them. I've done it playing Friday the 13th with some fans and repeated it, and they're just like blown away. They're like, oh my God, it is actually you. It sounds like you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And when the video or the trailer came out for Redfall, and my boyfriend and I were watching it, we've watched it like a few times already, and I've repeated something back to him. He's like, Like, he's so blown away by it too, and I love it. And he's like, that's my girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I love it. That's amazing. That is amazing. Okay, so I know that you stated basically voiceovers is that's your main thing now. Are you doing anything outside of that at the present time?
Currently I do still audition for commercials and for short films and TV and stuff like that. Not so much heavily on that as I am with voiceover, but I still kind of do that on the side. My heart still lies in musical theater, so I'm waiting for theaters and shows to open back up so we can actually have an audience to come see the show right now, again, because of COVID. But once things are a little bit better and places start opening back up, then I would love to jump right back into musical theater.
So you no longer want to work for Disney?
I mean, I do want to work for Disney because, I mean, they're just extra, which is just like, hey, let's do this. Slapstick and all that. Like, but Disney, I'm still on course for that. Whether it's actually appearing on camera or if it's voicing one of their animation films or with Pixar, like,
oh yeah,
I want Disney on my resume. Like, I love Disney and everything Disney, so I'm like, I'm ready.
All right, Disney, y'all need to get on it. Let's go. Come on.
Come on.
Work. Okay, so is video game voiceovers, is that something that you want? Well, I know that you said you want to get back into theater. So what about voiceovers? Now, is that something that you wouldn't mind doing until you retire, or you want to?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind continuing to do it because it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different avenues of it. It's really easy because I do have a home studio, so I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to dress up. I don't have to like do makeup and hair or anything like that. It's really easy and I just do it from home. Is like the plus side of it. So that's something I definitely see myself continuing with and doing long-term for as long as I can. Musical theater, I think, would be something that I want to do when I have that pocket of time, when I have that space, because that's basically where my career started when I was in college. We didn't have voiceover classes in college and I didn't know anything about it. So it was just all musical theater at the root of that. So when the time comes and I have space and time in my schedule, I would love to go back to voiceover or to musical theater, but voiceover, it'll still be with me for a long time.
Okay, so that's basically your first love.
Yes. Yeah. Great. I like this.
Yeah, you never get over your first love now.
That's true.
So back to the Redfall and Miss Layla, you know, how did you land that role?
Well, my agent, they submit me to auditions and I happened to get that audition. I did a really great audition, impressed them, I guess. And when I got the part, I was excited because it's so crazy. When we get the audition, sometimes they don't have what the character looks like, or sometimes they don't have the full story of what they want it to become. Over time, that kind of develops through that time. And once we got into sessions, then we kind of got to see what the character looks like. We also did facial motion capture. So we had the dots all over our face, and anything that we did like went into the game, which was super cool.
That is cool.
And we did recording sessions over a few months. This was like all in 2020. It was a long time we did this. And
wow.
Yeah, and I got to work with my other castmates as well, Adriana, Yuri, and Kamal, who play Remy, Jacob, and Devinder. And we had sessions together, and that was a lot of fun. And we had separate sessions as well. And everyone at Arcane and Bethesda has been great. Everyone's great to work with, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really grateful and happy to have chosen for this project and get the opportunity to do this. So it's just a great positive response how the fans have taken it, and that's overwhelmingly good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of people are looking forward to see, you know, what how what Redfall is going to be, and I mean, because that trailer was legit. That trailer was nice. I'm like, wait a minute.
When they first showed it to us, I was like, holy crap, this is so dope. This is crazy. It was so cool. I was like, this is gonna be dope. People see it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So okay. What do you love about voiceovers and what do you dislike about voiceovers?
What I love most about voiceovers is just the thrill of it. And for me, I mean that in the way like my favorite thing to do about voiceovers is award shows. And in award shows, I've done the 2018 MTV Video Music Awards and I've done the E People's Choice Awards from 2019 to now. And I love being live because I mean, I grew up in musical theater. That's all live. So it's like, that doesn't bother me. And it doesn't scare me. My mom would always be like, oh my gosh, aren't you like nervous? And I'm like, no, this is exciting. And it's like, you can't make a mistake. And I love the thrill of that. Everything's like on the spot, go, 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 here we go. And I just think it's so much fun to me. And I'm genuinely like a happy-go-lucky kind of person. So being able to kind of implement that in my voiceover work is just like natural. And it makes it a lot more fun for me.
Okay.
The thing that I dislike about voiceover, when you get auditions, you can get auditions at any time of the day, literally any time of the day. And sometimes when your agent will send it to you, it'll be due the next morning at like 7 a.m. And no matter if you have like a long day and you're getting home at like 11, you got to knock out that voiceover.
No way.
What you do, this is what you signed up for, and you never know what could come from it. Because if you skip that one audition, that could have been something that could just like totally explode your
Redfall.
Yes. You see, yep. You never know. So like the downfall of that is just auditions all the time. Sometimes I have like 8 auditions due the next morning and I'm like, I gotta wake up, gotta get some water, gotta do this before I go to bed. Like you just gotta do it. So just auditions. And sometimes they're ASAP auditions. My agent will send me and be like, okay, we need this within like the next 3 hours. If you're available, please, if anyone can do this audition. And I try to knock it out as best as I can. If I'm not home, it's just, I'm not home. And you don't want to send an audition where it's like you're in the car and you have all these sounds going by. It's going to pick up. You don't want to send that kind of audition. You want to send your best audition or just not at all, but you don't want a bad one that you're not prepared and you're doing it in like a bathroom or something because bathroom also. So no. Yeah. So it's just like the demand of voiceover. That's how it is. Yeah.
Quick thing for chat, if you all have any questions for Queen Noveen here, Miss Layla, y'all list them down below. She said that she wouldn't be against answering your questions or even interacting with you all. So if y'all have any questions, throw them down below and we will add.
Yes, I'd love
I'm telling you this now. Okay. So you may have already answered this, but what is the most difficult game thus far that you have voiced in?
It would definitely be Friday the 13th.
Okay.
It was
That's
very
what I was thinking.
on your throat. Yeah. And the funny thing is, when I took voiceover classes, we didn't practice any of that. We did not prepare for any screaming and choking on blood. That was not in the curriculum at all. But yeah, we did it and I got through it and I'm like, wow, okay, this is what these kind of voiceover games are gonna entail. And I've been getting a lot of like horror, sci-fi kind of fantasy games and I'm like, not sure why all that's coming to me, but that kind of genre, but I'm down for it.
That's cool.
I'm like, cool, keep them coming.
Yeah.
Keep coming.
We have a question. Can you see him?
Yes, Frank
Okay.
E. Would you consider being a female lead in Assassin's Creed game? I mean, I would love to. I've never done, thank you for the question, by the way, Frankie. I've never done a voice in Assassin's Creed, and I've seen the game before. I've had friends who've played the game before, and I've seen a few gameplays. But I would definitely love to do that. I not sure what I would be in that game, but I'm definitely open to something different in a different kind of world than the previous video games that I've done before. So expanding my resume and challenging myself in different ways, I think would be great. So I would love to do something from Assassin's Creed. Yeah.
That is good. Okay, someone said they have a question. Let's see. What does it say? Is Layla Jacob's right-hand woman?
I mean, as far as I know, there is no shipping each other. We're all just like random people who found each other in the game. No, I'm not his right-hand woman. I mean, I'm like his right-hand woman as in like when he needs to get up to the roof, I'm gonna build him an elevator to get him up there. Like, because he knows I have those powers and we work to help each other out. But there's no love triangle. There's no love triangle there.
That's cute.
That's so funny.
I like that. So how long would you say it took for you to quit your day job?
2 days.
Really?
Literally 2 days.
That's amazing.
I used to work at a theater in Hollywood, and I was an usher there and a tour guide. And when I got I was still doing voiceover while I was still there. It was like little video games and stuff here and there. But when I got the job of becoming the voice of E Network, they told me that, all right, we want you to start next week, Monday. And this was like Thursday when they were telling me. And I remember having a shift like Friday and Saturday, then I had nothing Sunday. And I was like, well, this is not going to be a 2-week notice, but a 2-day notice. I'm out of here, guys. See ya. I was like, listen, I got this job and they want me to start next week. So bye.
That is amazing. Like, 2 days.
Here, it is calling. I am going. Thank you for all these years, but I'm out.
That is amazing. Oh,
it was so exciting.
I like that.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I've been skipping all over the place with these questions. It's like you have like 1 through blah blah, but it's like 1, 10, 14. I guess you know, like the flow of the interview, it kind of led to the questions being out of turn. So I don't know. So okay, you kind of touched on this too, but how hard is it on your body to do these voiceovers? Because I know you mentioned as far as like, for instance, Friday the 13th, how difficult that was on your throat. And you know, with the frequent breaks from the different you know things you had to do. So is this something that you know you would have dealings with like on a regular basis, where you have games that you're voicing that would be difficult or hard on your throat? And
I wouldn't say on a regular basis. Again, it depends on the game. And that Friday the 13th took a while to make. So we did have to spread out the sessions again to take care of your voice and not do all sessions in like 1 week. It was like over the course of a few months. But most of the other games have been pretty fine. But even with doing those, I always try to make sure I take care of my voice. I have cough drops in my backpack. I have them in my car. I literally have them beside my bed. I have them everywhere I go, because being in voiceover, you have to take care of your voice 24/7 all the time. That is basically your instrument. That's your moneymaker right there. So I don't smoke. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. Like, I've never been interested in that. So I keep my voice clean. I keep my throat clean. But other games have been basically fine. Nothing too strenuous. But again, it's just like tea, cough drops, not having dairy before any big sessions or shows. But also staying active and having full meals, like fruits and vegetables and water all the time. Water all the time. Literally, I always have water with me. So it's not just about taking care of your voice, but you have to take care of your body too. Because when you're tired and you're going into sessions, they're going to hear that. They're going to hear it in the character and they're going to see it in you. And that's not a good look.
Okay.
So just taking care of yourself all the time.
Okay.
I mean, it makes you feel better and you feel awake and alive. So that's just an everyday thing. Yeah.
Okay. So if someone wanted to, I guess, get into voiceovers, what advice would you give them?
So this is going to sound generic, but classes. You have to take classes. It's not just about, oh, I have a voice and I can read really fast and I can do a bunch of different character voices. Yeah, that's great. But if you don't know how to utilize that correctly, you're not going to get booked. Classes basically teach you the foundation of voiceover. There's many different avenues of voiceover. Like I said, there's like video games, and then there's award shows, which is completely different. And there's promos and commercials and narration. Like these are all different. So you have to know how to use it. You have to know your terminology in that kind of industry, in the voiceover industry, and how to protect your voice. The different types of mic to use and studios to go to. Like there's a lot involved in it, and you have to know how to implement that when you're doing auditions and when you're actually in the studio booking stuff. Like there's a lot that goes into this. And so classes really do teach you that. They can teach you different accents as well, because a lot of these auditions will ask for accents on the spot. And I don't know how to do a lot of accents. So I have to YouTube it and basically study that before I do the audition, not just wing it. Because some of these auditions, they remember you. So even though you don't book that part, they'll still continue sending you auditions. Or at some point, which has happened to me, they'll request, hey, we want her specifically to audition for this part. We've heard her in different like things before that we have had her audition for, but we think she'll be good for this one. And some of the times I've actually ended up booking those. So you have to be on top of your game. You have to know what you're doing. Don't just wing it. They have voiceover classes online right now virtually, and they have some in person. If you can't afford voiceover classes, literally read anything and everything. Basically to help your mouth get used to saying words on the flow and learning different inflections and different ways to say things. Like when you hear stuff on the radio about McDonald's and on TV, those are voiceover people. Or if you hear about like psoriasis, talk to your doctor, like that kind of stuff. That's completely different from McDonald's. So just learning those different inflections and getting the point across of whatever product you're trying to sell or whatever character you're trying to act as. You have to also act as well and be in the moment and get that point across so the audience understands what you're saying and wants that product and wants to see that movie. Like that was a lot, but there's so much involved in getting this over. But my number one answer is get into classes. That will help you learn the foundation of everything. Classes do help. They do help.
Okay. That's good.
Thanks.
All right, people, if y'all interested, you need to take heed.
Yep.
Frank E asks, what are your favorite horror movies?
Okay, this might be dumb, but I love the paranormal investigator, the paranormal movies, basically. So there's like 4 of them, I think, and I think the third or second one is my favorite. I think the second one is my favorite one, and it's just basically like this invisible creature that you can't see, but you like hear it, you see the footsteps and like the powder and stuff. I love those kind of like horror movies where you can't see what's coming after you, but it's there. And I think it's so thrilling. I love that stuff so much. I have watched like Saw, which has like the gory kind of stuff. Blood is like splurting out. That doesn't really do anything for me. I think it's cool, but it's not one of my favorites. But I love the just like creepy, some kind of monster is after you or some like invisible ghost thing. I love those like ghostly kind of movies. I think it's very exciting. It's fun for someone who like loves Disney but like also loves creepy ghost horror movies.
Yeah. There is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I know you kind of you touched on as well, like what is it like a day in the life of voiceover actors? So I know you had mentioned, you might have some voiceovers you need to get done by this time period, this time period, this time period. So like a typical day, I guess typical day, your days are busy anyhow. So what is that like?
Well, let me pick one of my days where I literally have a lot in one day. Well, first of all, I wake up around like 6, and that's not because I choose to. That's because I have 2 cats. I adopted them last year. They're about a year and like 4 months right now, and I am not a morning person at all. But I'm up at 6. Yes, I know they're babies. One's sleeping right now in your tree. I'm up at 6. I feed them. Open my windows because I love sunshine coming in, make my bed. I have breakfast, have water, and basically check my emails of auditions, new auditions I have to do, or my calendar for what I have for the day. So normally it starts out with my E-sessions. I record E 2 to 3 times a day, Monday through Friday. So like today I had E at 9:30 a.m., 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I have another session at 2:30 p.m. So any scripts and stuff they need me to do. Sometimes in between, like it's happened before, I did 2 McDonald's radio ads, and they did the sessions in between the 11 a.m. and my 2:30 for E. So it'd be like 12 to 1 or something. And I have a home studio, so they would connect with me via the internet, and how we do it with Source Connect. And we would record the McDonald's ad, do a few takes, run through the script. So we would have the engineer online, and we would have the director and the producer and whoever else is there basically guiding us through it. They'll give notes of doing different takes, different inflections. Usually for McDonald's, they'll have the ba-da-ba-ba-ba, which I do, and the legal, which is the fast talking at the end. And for those, which is a very awesome talent of mine that I can speak very fast and clearly, I've had to do that as well. So we actually did 1 take one time, and he was like, okay, that was good. Let's speed it up a little bit faster. Did it again, and he was like, that's the take. All right, we're going to keep moving. Yeah, so they get everything that they need after we're done with the session. I save it on my computer. They usually do WAV files, send it off to them, to the engineer, make sure he has it. Then I'll have a little lunch, and then I have my session at 2:30 with eNetwork. And then lately I've been having like interviews. So I've been doing interviews after my sessions, or sometimes in between like this. And then other times I've had like video games that would be longer sessions, usually 2 to 3 hour sessions in the studio. And we would usually go to one of their studios in Burbank or North Hollywood over here in LA. But if it's like an award show that I have to do, that's an all day thing. I'm there at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. for an award show, because we have rehearsals all throughout the day. And I'm the voice of the show. So I have to be there for rehearsals, for any changes of like, oh, well, this celebrity's not going to come, or we have a celebrity that we change last minute, so we have to change the script. And I have my binder. It's like you're making notes, you're switching things back and forth and stuff. So that's usually an all day thing. But after I've done all my recordings and interviews for the day and I'm done, I'm looking at the last minute auditions that my agent has sent me that are due tomorrow. And I do those the night before. And if I can do them earlier than before I go to bed, that's great, because I don't want to sound too tired. So basically get that done. And then I finally breathe and relax, go to my boyfriend's. He makes dinner and we just chill. And it's nice.
Goodness. It seems like you don't have any me time.
Yeah, sometimes I don't.
Just go.
Go. This. And other times it'll just be a day of nothing. Even on a weekday, sometimes eNetwork won't have any scripts for me that day. They're like, we don't have any scripts for you, so you're good. And I won't have any recording sessions or anything. So it's like, oh, I get the day off. I get to breathe. I'm like, all I do is talk all day. And it's great. But it's like, I'm happy I get the day off sometimes and just give my voice a rest to just relax.
And what do you do in that downtime? Do you read or play games? Or?
I paint. I love painting.
Oh,
yeah. So I've always been in arts and crafts ever since I was young. I love creating stuff, and I have like a whole tub of different arts and crafts with like paper and glue sticks and Crayola and felt paper and pom-poms, like everything is in there. So ever since quarantine had started last year, I got back into painting, and that's been really soothing and a lot of fun. Other times, my boyfriend and I will go out to the beach. We love going to the beach and just getting outside. And I love sunshine, so I love feeling the rays on me and just being outside. I love the sound of the ocean. So yeah, I'll definitely get out when I can. Or we also have 2 puppies, so we have to go take them for a walk, or we're going to a new trail and discover something new. So definitely getting outside and enjoying what's out there. So yep. If I'm too tired, I'm just gonna sleep. I just sleep in all night. So I have those days where I just sleep. I'm like, I don't have the energy today.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
My body. Yep.
Goodness. Look, guys, if this is something you want to do, you're hearing it firsthand, all the work it takes. This is not something that you just, this is something that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. This is not one of those cushy little, jobs that you do. You actually got to put in a lot of work and a lot of time. So you're hearing it firsthand. The things that you do. Through. Yeah. I love this.
Thank you.
I'm learning, I'm learning. I'm getting to know, you as a person, you as a voiceover actor. Am I saying that right? I don't.
Yeah, you can say voiceover actor. Yeah.
Okay. And then what all that entails, because people don't know these things, like the little snippets of stuff that you might see on TV or, something like that. You really don't know, and I just think this is just really cool, to be able to get the behind the scenes from actual voiceover actors.
Yeah. I mean, we make it sound easy. Like the final product of everything you hear on TV and playing video games. Yeah, it sounds easy after we've been in the studio for like 6 hours. Like, yeah, we put a lot of work into this, but the outcome was great. So it's well worth it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to take up a ton of your time. I know you have a lot of stuff to do. So is there anything that you would like to add before we close?
Yeah, if any of you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Noveen Crumbie, just to make it easy, just my name. You can see right down here below, at Noveen Crumbie. I'm on all those social media sites, so feel free to send me a tweet or something. I'll definitely say hi back. And those of you who are interested in voiceover, I do have a YouTube/Instagram series coming soon. It's called So You Think You Can Talk, and it's going to cover all things about voiceover, things you've wondered, things you want to know, tips for the day, the nitty-gritty about like going to the studio, or types of equipment that you could use for different things. And again, this is all from my experience, what I've learned, and from some of my peers in the voiceover industry as well. So if you're interested in voiceover and learning anything about it, feel free to follow So You Think You Can Talk. I do have an Instagram page for it already. There's nothing there. It just says coming soon. So it'll be coming soon. January 2022 is when I'm shooting to start the series and release it. It's also on Twitter at SYTYCT series. So You Think You Can Talk series. I'll share it on my Twitter. But I do have social media for those too. But yeah, it's called So You Think You Can Talk. So if you guys are interested in voiceover, feel free to follow that. Again, it's coming out January 2022.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to have to put that in the description.
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
For sure. All right. Well, I really thank you for taking the time out to talk with us today, because I know you are busy. Like, woo! I got tired listening to all.
Frankie, this interview is lit. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed this. So love interacting with the people in the comments as well. So
exactly.
yeah,
definitely. Well, I thank you. I greatly appreciate you. And yeah, I'm this is exciting. This is exciting.
Thank you.
And again, we stand for Layla. We
Yes.
stand.
Well,
Like your
Layla.
magic coming through.
Yes, you'll
But
see her next year. So
there you go.
mhm.
Okay, so I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and end this interview. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to leave Queen Noveen's information down below. Y'all be sure to follow her. And if you're not currently subscribed to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And we will see you on the next video.
Woo! Bye, guys.
And it does the circle thing.
Okay.
It should be done though.